Hello, good afternoon, all of you. So, just we will be discussing how to ace the economic questions in your prelims exam. Okay, so approach to deal with questions in prelims exam and how to prepare for prelims exam. Okay, what approach you should follow. Okay, see, we are already in the month of January. Okay, this is the right time when you start actually preparing for prelims. If you have to be prelims specific, at least I can say 90 days before your exam, you must go prelims specific. So specific that even if your friends or somebody at your home asks you what you want to eat in the lunch, you must tell them to give us 4 options first. You should become this much specific when preparing for prelims. Okay, last 100 days. Get the point? Why? Because I am telling you, in civil services exam, people fear means, some people fear interview. Okay, but I must tell you, prelims is the most toughest situation. I have seen people who are reaching into interview in their first attempt or reaching interview in their second attempt, but not be able to qualify prelims in the next attempt. Okay, because it is so dicey. You never know what can be asked. You never know how to approach the questions, and it is a game of all nerves, because knowledge you are provided, huge knowledge in the institution, in the classes, huge knowledge in the books. You are very well read before the exam. Okay, but how to use that knowledge, how to articulate that knowledge, that is most important for your preliminary examination. You got it? What is important? Most important stage of this civil service exam is preliminary examination. Okay, in preliminary examination, you very well know that there are 2 papers. One is CSAT, which is actually of qualifying nature. Okay, it's actually of qualifying nature. You require only 33% marks. That will not go for your merit, counting your merit. Okay, but then there is general studies. Okay, general studies, there are 200 marks. Okay, and 100 questions, 2 marks each. Very well know the pattern. Okay, and negative marking, about negative marking you also know very well. Okay, now what is the usual cutoff? I'll discuss it later. Okay, but what this prelims comprise of, okay, just briefly I'll tell you what components it comprises of, and what shall be the strategy. What shall be the strategy to ace the prelims exam? Okay, see, if we start from general studies, there are 2 aspects. One is called static aspect and one is called current affairs aspect. I will tell you the brief strategy how to ace both static as well as the current affairs aspect of the prelims exam. Why? Because sometimes we are so much lost in the current affairs strategy, in the current affairs discussion, in the current affairs examination, in the thinking about current affairs, where to read, what to read, how much to read, that we forget to give ample attention to our basics. Okay, so see, I'll tell you, in history, what current affairs will you find? Okay, I'm sure Mauryan history is not going to change. I'm sure Mughal history is not going to change. I'm sure modern history is also not going to change. All you can find changing is postmodern, but postmodern hardly any question in prelims. You'll usually find in mains examination questions related to internal security and other issues. Okay, and whenever there will be any question from postmodern, it will be the latest one from the current affairs. Okay, and then you will get art and culture. You will get some part in art and culture. In art and culture, suppose Nataraja statue has been in news. Okay, or the Nataraja has been in news because maybe it went to Britain, then it returned to India. Who stole it, or how did it happen? All it means this has got into news. This has become important. So anything which is from art and culture side, suppose some festival is being celebrated. Let me give you one example. Okay, suppose there was this Jallikattu. Okay, now it is a part of art and culture, but it was a part of this current affairs also. So only those events of current which are related to historical past, okay, they become important. Okay, so but ancient, medieval, modern will not change. Okay, and what will be the weightage of questions? questions will be like 3 questions from ancient, 2 from medieval, 2 from ancient, 3 from modern, 3 to 5, 7, and 3 to 5 from art and culture. Okay, 3 to 5, 7, 3, 10. If I say minimum 10, maximum 15. And out of these 15, how many from static? 13 or 14. Okay, so which one is important? Static portion is more important. This is what we actually forget. Okay, and without basics, you cannot even understand current affairs. You cannot understand current affairs without basics. So same way history, same way polity, same way geography, same way economy. Okay, in geography, suppose they ask you a question about Golan Heights. They ask you a question about Golan Heights. But how can you tell about Golan Heights unless you have the basics of map? Basics is static. Atlas is static. It will not change. Okay, at least not in this century, because for geography, for economy, financial year is 12 months, or over a period means 12 months over a financial year. But for geography, over a period means millions of years ago, or over millions of years. So geography, that doesn't change as much quickly. Okay, suppose this is El Nino year and you get a question on El Nino, but there is a basics of El Nino. What happens at Peru coast? What happens at Arabian Sea? What happens at Madagascar? Okay, and how winds turn? What is the rainfall amount? What is its impact on Indian agriculture? Very, very simple, very straight. But how can you know all the things about El Nino if you are not done with your basics? Same way, the ratio in geography will be, if there will be 12 questions, minimum 8 will be from the static portion. Okay, arrange the peaks in increasing order of their height, or arrange the states through which equator passed from east to west, west to east. Arrange the states through which the meridian line passed from north to south. Okay, what is this? Basics. So first focus on strengthening your basics. Okay, I am supposed to deal mostly with Indian economy, how you can ace economy, but just I am giving you an open idea. The first 10 minutes I am spending on the other aspects also. I will come concrete on economics also. Okay, only economy I will tell you, but just I am giving you overall overview how you have to approach prelims exam. Okay, polity, economy, geography, history, then also science and tech, current affairs. This is usually static part. Sorry, current affairs. Okay, but ecology and environment. In the worst, you will get ecology and environment around more than 15 questions, around 20-22, highest 22 questions. Okay, where do they come? There is a 50-50 distribution. 50% are from static portion. Like once they asked a question about ecological niche, it is very much static question. Okay, once they asked a question about mutualism, okay, it is very much static. Once they asked a question about Biodiversity Act, okay, it is very much static. Okay, but once they also asked question about Olive Ridley turtle, ORT, Olive Ridley turtle, that was news that year. Get the point? So even in ecology and environment, half the questions will be current. Red data book or endangered species, vulnerable species, IUCN status, majorly static part, only updations. Some species shifted from endangered to vulnerable, or vulnerable to endangered, to nearly threatened, or some species got extinct. Okay, this is current affairs. But basic classification, how red data book classifies animals, okay, or species across the globe, what is the way of their classification, that all comes into the static. Okay, now please teach your mind one important thing. Teach your mind that until I am good with this, I will not worry about this. Teach your mind, until I am good with this, I will not worry about this. Because if you are not good in this, worrying about this is not going to help anyway. Okay. If you worried all throughout the year about this and you are not good at this, you are still not going to make it to the prelims. Because prelims is a composition of basics plus updation. Without basics, you cannot read current affairs. You cannot read current affairs. Suppose you are going to read BT cotton, okay, but you are not aware with the hybrid variety of seeds or hybridization of animals, or what is high yield variety of seeds, how basically these hybrid varieties are made. Unless you are good at this, how can you imagine yourself learning everything about BT cotton, its pros and its cons? You cannot learn unless you are clear with basics. So I told you, first thing, what will you teach yourself? You'll teach yourself that you have to be excellent in this first. You have to be excellent in this. Okay, when you are excellent in this, you can start worrying with this. Okay, it doesn't mean that you have to be busy in this for a whole year not thinking of this at all. I'm telling you that be more worried about this, less worried about this, because this has only limited sources. This is a vast thing. This is a vast thing. This is a limited thing. Okay, yeah, most of the questions are related to current affairs, but they are not out of the blue. They are not out of the world. They are, suppose I'll give you one example. They ask you question. Last year there was a question about CBDC, central bank digital currency. Okay, but where did this central bank digital currency came from? It came from that year budget. Because that year budget, government announced it, central bank digital currency. Okay, let us suppose another issue was taken up in exam. Suppose they asked you a question on, food security bill, okay, or food security act. Okay, 2013 food security act, 2015 question was asked. Okay, not out of the blue. That is, there is a limited sphere where they will ask from. Okay, but unless you are good in this, you cannot go for this. Okay, so please focus on history, polity, geography, ecology, environment, and economy first. Okay, then think of current affairs. Okay, in science and tech, mostly current issues are asked, and that too, they are not out of the blue. Okay, so this was a journal about prelims, because this was not my concern to tell in general, but I just told you just how you should approach it. Okay, now first of all, I will come back to the component for which we have been here now today, like how to ace economics questions. How to deal economics questions. How to deal economics questions. We will deal with that. Okay, last year there was a question. I will take a question, then I'll elaborate it, explain it. Last year there was a question, simple question. Which of the following represents money supply? Which of the following represents money supply? The options given one were M0, M1, M2, M3. A, B, C, D. How many of you know this answer? How many of you know this answer? Can you raise your hands, please? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Chaitanya, you are here. Okay. So you should at least give credit to my mind. I remember your name even after 2 years. Okay. Okay. So which one represents money supply? M1, yes or no? M2, yes or no? M3, yes or no? Yes. Now, if you are a good civil services aspirant, you will not know only the answer. Okay, you will know M0 means reserve money. M0 means reserve money. M1 is a bit narrow concept, narrower money. Okay, it is also narrow money, but practical purposes, M1 is called narrow money. Okay, then this is the broad money. Okay, total money in circulation. How do you know this? How can you answer this question? Because you are good with your basics. You are good with your basics. Okay, now I will ask you another question. Okay, I will ask you another questions. Infrastructure Investment Trust. What is this? What is Infrastructure Investment Trust? There was a question on this last year. Okay, so one statement was that these are the funds, these are the fundraising instruments. Yes or no? Yes, very much. On this, one who purchases instruments from Infrastructure Investment Trust, Infrastructure Investment Trust raise funds from public for investment in infrastructure purpose. This is what you already know. This is the basics. So one statement was that you could mark it, correct? You could mark it. Another statement was that whatever you earn on this, basically when infrastructure investment trust, they raise funds through issue of bonds. So you are a bondholder. You are a bondholder. So if you are a bondholder, you hold the bond of infrastructure investment trust. Okay, on that you will get interest. Okay, you will receive consistently the interest. The amount which you will receive, you will earn. Is that taxable or not taxable? Is that taxable or not taxable? This was the second statement. Why it was it was asked? Because that year only there was introduced one provision that income from these InvITs or real estate investment trusts will be taxed. Will be taxed. So income from these is taxable. Okay. Now how could you solve both the statements? One, you are very clear with your basics. Okay. Second, you have read in newspaper that it has been made taxable recently. So both the statements were very much doable. Okay. Why? Because unless you know what is InvITs, you will not read this question. You will not read the question unless you know what are InvITs, what are infrastructure investment trust, or what are real estate investment trust. You will not read this question because you know I have not read them. Once you are done with basics, you will try to approach it. You will try to approach it, and you will be able to mark it right. Once you are read with basics, then you have updated current affairs also. You have read the current affairs also. Okay. Even today, which topics we were discussing? Like we were discussing agriculture. We were discussing agriculture. Okay. Let us say in agriculture, I gave you one example that ammonia. Okay. Which of the following is true about ammonia or urea? Okay. I can say that, let us say neem coated urea. UPSC asked a question about neem coated urea. First of all, if you don't have idea about neem coated urea, can you attempt this question? You'll never be able to attend this question, but you are intelligent enough, you know about neem coated urea. Okay, means it is simple urea on which coating of neem was done. Okay, what was the purpose of neem coated urea? Number one, number two, number three. There were three statements. Okay, statement one was that to prevent diversion of neem to non-agricultural use. Yes or no? Yes. Number two, it will enhance the water resistance capacity. Water resistance capacity of urea. See how they have asked the question. Water resilience. It will enhance the water resilience of urea. Did I tell you this in the class? I didn't tell. I didn't tell water resistance, but I told you it won't help. It will prevent the easy dissolution of urea and its leaching to the ground. Did I tell you that? You could easily figure out, yeah, it must have become water resistant or it must have more water resilience. No, it will not be easily dissolvable. It will not be leached. So it will remain in the soil itself. So fertility will be maintained. Get the point? So how could you approach these two statements? How could you mark both of them? Third statement, I don't remember, but it was very much simple. It was more simple. More simple, like it was related to fertility only. Okay. So how could you approach, how would you solve all these questions? Only because you are clear with basics, plus you have upgraded yourself with the current affairs. Now maybe this year, let us suppose they don't ask you about neem coated urea, they ask you about urea gold. About urea gold. Okay, and they give one options. It will have purest form of urea content. Yes or no? No, because this time phosphorus is also added. Okay, so it will be a mixture. Although the name is urea gold, but it will be a mixture of urea and phosphorus. Most of the students who are not read, they will put in wild guesses. This is urea, how can phosphorus be there? But urea gold has phosphorus. Okay, how much percentage? Original urea 40% and 37% and 13%. 13% phosphorus, 37% nitrogen. 37% and 13%. Okay, this is the. So how could you solve this? How could you solve the question of urea gold? Because you know the new urea policy, then you know the improvement on that, then you know neem coating of urea, then you know the urea gold. How do you know this? Because you have updated it. You have read newspapers very properly. Now even tomorrow, if any change in the agriculture subsidies will take place, in newspaper you will read the article, you will understand the article. How will you understand? Because you are clear with basics. Without basics, you cannot even understand the newspapers also. How many of you were reading newspaper articles? You might have started 6 months ago, okay, but how many of you were understanding them few months ago? You are reading economic articles today. You are reading economic articles today. Has your understanding of those articles improved significantly? Why this significant improvement in understanding the newspaper articles? Because you have made your basics very strong. You have strengthened your basics. Get the point? So the first and foremost approach to prelims in general also is the same. Strengthen your basics. Number one, strengthen your basics. Number two, prelims, some people say, sir, it is easier because at least we have 4 options available. In mains, we don't have any option available. Okay. But for God's sake, understand those 4 options available are so closely related that you will at times get frustrated. Which one is the right answer? They are so similar in, their minor differences are there in options, but very well read people can easily distinguish with even one word. Okay. Suppose sometimes it is applicable to few sectors. They'll mention it is applicable to all sectors. Okay. The all and few words make the difference. Okay. Only word makes a difference. Okay. So first of all, when you are approaching the prelims, the first technique I told you is be clear with basics. Number 2, be updated. Be updated. Okay. For being updated, please mark this line. While updating, read one source. Read one source only. And preferably read newspapers. Preferably read newspapers. Because there are so many warriors today who are teaching current affairs on YouTube. Okay. Okay, not every warrior is actually a warrior. Get the point? Okay, so every warrior will put in his own opinions in between. Get the point? So newspaper will give you actual opinion, natural opinion, neutral opinion. Okay. Now suppose Ministry of Finance drafted one policy. Okay, drafted one policy for improvement in the deficits. Okay, or suppose it drafted one policy, some policy related to financial issues. Okay, rather than reading its summary from one source, another source, third source, better to go to Ministry of Finance, download the whole policy itself, then take out main points out of it. Either highlight it or just take down a note on it. Okay. In this way, this is the best way of reading any policy. Although I understand it will consume a lot of time. Okay. But it will build you very, very solid. Okay. If you are not able to do, then read Press Information Bureau summary also. PIB summaries are also very good. Although they are very concise, very limited. But UPSC sometimes drops questions directly from PIB summaries. Get the point? So I suggest directly newspaper plus Press Information Bureau summaries plus also certain ministries. For any monetary policy reform which RBI takes, I prefer RBI reports. I prefer only RBI reports. You get the point? Okay. But now that you have gone into prelims mode, okay, while reading one topic, ask yourself as many questions as possible. Question can be this way, question can be this way, question can be this way. I will give you an example. Okay, I'll give you an example. Suppose you are writing agriculture. Suppose you today decided to study agriculture. Okay. Suppose today you decided to study agriculture. Now what I want you to do is ask yourself about agriculture. What is agriculture's contribution to GDP? Okay. Ask your contribution. What is agriculture's contribution to your exports? Okay. Ask yourself a question. What are major issues in Indian agriculture? Okay. Ask yourself a question. What is government policy on agriculture? Okay. Ask yourself what are the major crops or what are the various produces which we are exporting, import commodities. Okay. Export-import commodities. Ask yourself a question, in agriculture, in which sector we are performing better, whether it is agriculture and allied activities, horticulture, fisheries and all other sectors. Okay, ask yourself a question, how agriculture contribution to GDP has changed since independence till today. Where will you get this idea from? You'll get all the idea from, if someone has taught you, then from your notes. If someone has not taught you, then you'll get all the ideas from basic books, basic books plus economic survey plus budget. Economic survey plus budget. Okay. Every year there is a question from budget or economic survey. Okay. As simple as that. You got it? Now, so basics plus updation. Third very important thing which students forget is solving MCQs. Solving MCQs. Nothing stays with you without rigorous practice. Nothing can stay with you without rigorous practice. Unless you rigorously practice MCQs, the knowledge which you gain through reading is also volatile. It will go away. Okay. Now, what is the way of solving objectives is a very interesting question. What is the way of solving objectives? Okay. Way of solving MCQs. Question number 2. Question number 2. Suppose as per FRBMA 2003, target of fiscal deficit is A, 2 to 4%, B, 4 plus minus 2%, C, 2.5%, D, 3%. 3%. Okay. So, is it 4 plus minus 2%? Yes or no? No. Is it 2 to 4%? No. Is it 2.5%? Yes or no? Is it 3%? How did you know? Sometimes what students do, okay, fine, yeah, they have not read properly. This was also some target. What is this target? Very good. Inflation targeting. As per which committee recommendation? Urjit Patel committee recommendation. This was also a fiscal deficit target. Okay. But as per what? Yes. As per FRBMA, this is the target. 3%. Okay. Now, either you know this, you will solve it and proceed. You will solve it and proceed. Clear? This is the wrong way. You don't know it, you will guess it. The guess will be right. You'll jump in happiness and you'll proceed. This is not the right way. The right way is not to find the answer first. The right way is, it has asked FRBMA. Open your book where you have written about FRBMA. Read it once again. You revised FRBMA. Now you'll easily solve the question. You get the point? This is the actual way of solving the question, MCQ. But this is a question based on numbers. This is the question based on numbers. Which of the following tool is used by RBI? Which of the following tool is used by RBI to control money supply for short durations? To control money with short term money supply measure. One, or which of the following is a qualitative measure of money supply? Okay, one is open market operations, OMO, standing deposit facility, okay, liquidity adjustment facility, and moral suasion. Moral suasion. Okay. Now, there are two chances. You will just either know which of the following is basically the answer. Okay. Otherwise, you will do what? You will read first of all what is open market operation. Okay, you will read then standing deposit facility. Then you will read liquidity adjustment facility. Then you will read, rather than moral suasion, you will write credit rationing. Okay, credit rationing. Then you will get the idea that credit rationing is basically fixing a quota of credit towards particular sector. Okay, but these are open market operations, standing deposit facility, liquidity adjustment facility. These are basically to enhance or to increase or reduce the amount of money supplied in the economy. Okay. Now there are two ways. Either you just see, okay, it is very easy question. Okay, I know this. Go ahead. Okay, wrong way. Okay, or you just guess and you mark it correct. You mark it wrong, just be sad for a while and move ahead. And you curse yourself, I don't know the objectives, I can't clear the prelims. Okay, this is not the right way of solving MCQs. While you are solving MCQs, try to read all the concept involved in one MCQ. That way you will spend at least 2 to 3 minutes or 5 minutes on solving one MCQ. In 1 hour, you will solve only 12 MCQs. Okay, very properly. If you have to solve, you will solve at least initially 12. Then when your knowledge will enhance, next time now when you will face any question on RBI, if there is these concepts involved, you will not revise them again. You will not revise them. So make MCQs a way of revising things, and preferably solve the MCQs of those chapters which you are either revising or you are now going to revise. Now you are going to revise. Don't solve the MCQs first. Read all MCQs. Read all. Okay, these are the MCQs. Read all MCQs. You know what that will enhance? That will enhance your concentration of revision. You will revise with more concentration, because in the back end, in your mind, you have all the MCQs that have been asked previously by UPSC. Okay, so while going through those points, you will be more curious. Okay, UPSC has asked this. Okay, it is this way, it is this way, it is this way. Your revision will become more effective. You will be more, your senses will be very active. Okay, you will actively revise. Otherwise, most of the people are half slept during revisions. Okay, because revisions is a boring thing. You are reading something which you already have read. So to create interest in revisions, one doubt I get across the country is that, sir, how to keep our mind alert and active during revisions? This is the best way. You read previous MCQs. Read previous MCQs. Don't solve them. Read previous MCQs of the chapter which you are going to revise. Okay, those MCQs won't let you sleep while revisions. Get the point? Best way. Best way. Get the point? Okay. So remain alert in revisions. Okay. Then after revising the chapter, come back and solve those MCQs. Okay. See if you drop any MCQ, if you are not able to solve, locate the reason why you are not able to solve. Is it because that's not in your notes? If it is not, update your notes. Okay. Is it because you forget while revising, you just missed? Is it because you misunderstood the concept? Now that will enhance your capability of understanding the question. That will enhance your capability of understanding the question. If you mark an objective, if you did it wrong, why do you did it wrong? It will enhance your way of understanding the question, what actually is asked in the question. You got it? So how to do revisions, how to practice MCQs, and how to enhance your question understanding capability. Okay. Now, if you are able to solve, you revise the chapter. If you are from that chapter, UPSC in past has asked 20 questions. If you have solved 14 questions, you have not been able to solve 6 questions. Okay. So should you be worried or not worried? You should first of all congratulate yourself that you have solved 14. You have solved 14. 14 means at least you have done 70% of the job. Okay. Cutoff in UPSC is hardly above 50%. First point. Second point, you should not leave the other 6. You should at least locate the reason why you marked them wrong. Okay. Why they were dropped. Okay. Why they were dropped. Clear? So when you will locate the reason, you'll find for information. While searching for information, so many things will pass by in your eyes. Okay. When you in search of something, when something passes through your eyes, that sticks to mind somewhere. That sticks to mind somewhere. That will help you in the calculate guessing of some questions which you could not solve in the mains in prelims exam because of your knowledge. Some questions you cannot solve by knowledge, then you can use calculated guesses. Means you know 3 points, you don't know 1, you just go for guesswork. Okay, that calculated guess will come from that rudimentary knowledge which is somewhere in your subconscious mind, which has stuck to your subconscious mind while you are scrolling through for some other information. You were scrolling for information related to new urea policy. All of a sudden you got neem coated urea in between. So that stick to your mind. Okay, this thing has happened in between. You got it? Very, very simple. Very, very simple. Read one chapter, revise it. Before revisions, read its MCQs. Then after revision, solve those MCQs. After solving those MCQs, it is a stage. Okay, I'll now make the stages. How you have to prepare for prelims. Or you will start it today only. Okay, those who have to appear this year, you will start it today. Okay. Identify the area for revision. Suppose you decided today I will revise monetary policy. So you decided today I will revise monetary policy. This is the first step. This is the first step. Okay? This is the first step. Now read the MCQs related to that area slash topic. Related to that area slash topic. Okay? You got it? Okay. Once you are done with reading the MCQs, don't solve the MCQs, just read. Focus on the word read, not solve. Okay? Read the MCQs. Please follow the stage. Follow these stages. Very, very helpful. Okay? Now, why you would want to do this? Because this will enhance your alertness and attentiveness while revising. You won't sleep, you won't feel lazy, okay, you won't yawn, okay, you'll just be lost actually in the topic. Okay, now revise the topic. Revise the topic. Now revise the topic slash area thoroughly. Now revise the topic thoroughly. Okay? After you revise the topic thoroughly, now solve the MCQs. Okay? Then locate the errors and reasons thereof. Locate the errors and the reasons thereof. Okay? Locate the errors and reasons thereof. Reason may be you might not have revised well. You may have forgotten. Forgotten means you need another revision. You may not have revised well. Another revision required. It is not in your notes. Updation required. Okay. This will help you to trace the fault, where the fault lies. Okay. And then take corrective measure. Take corrective measure. Those who are going to appear in 2025, take it written from me. If you follow this from today, 110% you will make it to the prelims. Okay. Just do one topic a day. 365 days means 365 topics you will do. Or do one chapter a day. Altogether, if you club all the components, there are not 365 chapters. Combinedly, suppose Indian economy you read 14 chapters. Okay. Same way in history you will read some 10 odd chapters, 7 odd chapters. Okay. Geography you will read also 7, 8 odd chapters. Okay. So if you do this with all the chapters, nothing can stop you from going into prelims exam. Also, after doing all this, then attempt test series. Attempt test series of high quality. Attempt test series of high quality. Okay. Don't attempt a test series. Babar went to from this city to that city on a horse. What was the name of that horse? Okay. Don't attempt such kind of test series. Okay. Logical, reasonable. Okay. And which is based on some current trend. Which is based on the current trend in civil service exam. You get the point? Okay. This will create so much interest in your studies. You'll remain busy throughout the day doing all this. Okay. You'll remain busy throughout. But please understand, this and this shall not consume much of your time. Sometimes reading 100 objectives at a time. Okay, no. One topic, how many MCQs have been asked from this topic? Okay, there are books available, ample books available in market in which MCQs are given topic wise also. Okay, take some book, Don't go for their solutions. So many errors also found in so many books. Okay, don't locate solution. Don't see what they say about the answer. Locate the answer yourself by reading the topic itself. Get the point? Simple, shortcut, and proven strategy of cracking the prelims. Okay, applicable to all the subjects equally, especially applicable to Indian economy, especially applicable to Indian economy. And Indian economy, some special instructions, some special instructions. Apart from focus on basics and updates, focus on trends, not data. Focus on trend, not data. Data is not required. In India, the mercantile exports is 1.4 million and 23 million dollars. Okay, no, just trend. Is export in merchandise increasing or decreasing? Is it a consistent increase or consistent decrease? Is it basically because of some domestic industry weakness or because of some competitiveness of the imported commodities? Okay, so also focus on trends, not data. Focus on analysis. Analytical part are more important. Analytical parts are more important. Okay, analytical parts are more important. Then read very less resources. What is the least number? But will you qualify prelims by this? So what is the obvious choice? Because below 1, there is a thing which will not take you anywhere. Get the point? So fix one good resource, make it as your base, and then advance. Get the point? Advance from current affairs. You get it? Read and understand. Read and understand the question properly. At least 3 to 4 questions are lost in prelims because of confusion between incorrect/correct. What actually they have asked, you don't read properly, you lose questions. Okay? All, some, few, some 1 or 2 questions are lost because of the word. You didn't read all, you thought some, but actually the answer was question mentioned all, you thought in your mind some. Okay, so all, some, few, these are the terms which must be focused, which must be very much focused. Okay, then there is a word not. Which of the following is not correct? There is not written incorrect. Okay, sometimes which of the following is not incorrect? Is not incorrect. Yeah, this is how UPSC plays. Okay, now UPSC also found people are not understanding this. So now what UPSC does in its papers, not is usually bold and italic. Whenever you see the question, not is usually bold and italic. Okay, so this is how I am telling you, please read the question very carefully. What is it actually asking? Okay, prelims is all about holding your nerves after knowledge. So many people have read very well throughout the year, but they don't qualify prelims. Why? Because they couldn't hold their nerves during that 3 hours. Okay, read first question, you don't know it. Okay, go ahead. Read second, you don't know it. Go ahead. Read up to 7, you don't know any question. Go ahead. Up to 11, you don't know any question. Any normal mind gets frustrated. For you, don't get frustrated unless you know first 30 questions, you know nothing out of them. Keep patience up to 30. Because UPSC doesn't want you 100 questions. They are not going to give you any gold medal. Okay, they're not going to give you any award, big award. Okay, because you score 98 questions out of 100. Okay, in prelims, the one who is 1 mark above the cutoff, the one who is 80 mark above the cutoff are the same individuals. For mains, they are same. Okay, the one who was just 1 mark above the cutoff was rank 1. Okay, in some exam past, it has happened. Get the point? So prelims, you don't want to be gold medalist. Keep your patience. If you don't know 10 questions, 20 questions, 30 questions, don't worry. Attempt only 70. If you are correct with 50, you are done. You get the point. And UPSC deliberately puts some questions which only they know what is the answer. Not even the faculties know what actually is the answer. Yeah, deliberately. Why? Because otherwise, who will call it unpredictable public service commission? Okay. Otherwise, what is the fun of such a big organization? They have to show their worth also. So some questions are extremely tough. I told you, not even the faculties who teach the subject know the answer. Get the point? Don't worry. Point is, you should be above 65% in your preparation. You should be good enough. UPSC doesn't say you should be a genius. Okay. If you are a genius, go and become a doctor. Medical sector, medical industry needs you more. Okay. If you are a bigger genius, go and become engineer without studying. Okay. Because that sector industry also needs you. Okay. If you are a moderate, come to us. We need you because lot of patience is required. Okay. Lot of perseverance is required. Okay. Lot of discipline is required. Okay. Geniuses are not required. You got it? So, has all these discussions helped you how you will approach prelims? This has simply, for those who have understood what I just discussed, this has simplified the thing for them forever. They'll never again go to any teacher or any person, sir, how will I approach prelims? Okay, at least in my component economy and in other areas also, general studies also, I told you. Correct your basics, put your basics right. Be disciplined in your studies. Okay, don't study economy today and tomorrow modern history, day after tomorrow art and culture, day after tomorrow internal security. No, at least spend some good quality time with. Normally we are humans. To know a person, we need to spend some good quality time. Okay, we know a person only when we spend good quality time. We know a subject only when we spend good quality time with the subject also. Spend good quality time with the subject. Okay, don't frustrate yourself by looking at others. They are studying 13 hours, I'm not doing anything. Okay, and and don't fix unrealizable targets. If you are to read this way, you will not be able to read much during whole day. Okay, but whatever you will read will be grossly productive. Okay, and if you thought I will revise one history, one geography chapter, one polity chapter, in the evening you will find you have not revised even a polity chapter properly today. Okay, you'll get frustrated because you have fixed an unrealizable target for yourself. You said I will revise 5 chapters today. In the hurry of finishing 5, there will be no productivity, zero productivity. Tell yourself every morning, do some productive work today. Do some productive work today. Ask yourself same question in the evening. What productive work you did during the day? If you yourself answered to yourself very properly, if you could satisfy yourself by your answer, you are on the right track. You are on the right track. Otherwise, in the evening, if you are justifying to yourself, actually I went there, I didn't stay anything. Okay, then tell yourself you are not going to make it to the prelims. Go and sleep calmly. At least have a calm sleep. You are not going to make it. Okay, get the point. By selecting unrealizable targets, you are landing into frustration. You are leading yourself to wrong roads. Get the point. Fix realizable targets. I'll study 1 hour. In this 1 hour, my target is I may finish one chapter of economy. Maybe not. I may get stuck at some concept. What if I fixed 1 hour? It took me 2 hours. Then I have ample time. I have all the time in the world. Don't rush behind things. Don't run behind things. Okay. Do continuously. Do less, but do continuously. Work less, but work continuously. And also work hard. Okay. And also don't traverse your journey by looking at others. Who he is doing this, I will do this also. No, you are yourself an independent entity. Your mind you are altogether a different processing unit. Okay, the way you process things, the other doesn't process that way. Okay, you'll see my friend, he starts at the evening 9 p.m. and reads up to 4 p.m. Starts 9 p.m., reads up to 4 a.m. Okay, I'll try also the same. Okay, and after 12 p.m., in 12 in the night, I'm asking myself, who am I and where am I? What am I doing? You get the point? Because I am not habituated to wake for longer nights. Huh? I am not habituated to wake up for longer hours. Okay. So why did I lost myself? because I tried to see myself in somewhere else. Get the point? So if you are habitual of waking up at 4, don't see my friend is so blessed, he sleeps up to 11. Ask him only after 11 o'clock, he open eyes and he has never seen the beautiful sunrise in the morning. Okay. Get the point? So it depends, varies person to person. Make your own journey, make your own sphere, make your own circle. 10 current affairs magazines on the stall of a bookshop. Okay, you are seeing this, oh, it has written beautifully. You'll see another, oh, it has also written better. Get all of the 10 and go and study. Not possible, na? Not practically not possible. Okay, so what you will do then? You will tell yourself that all this, what I'm seeing is rubbish, the best thing I have back home. Okay, go back to home, you will have only one book and you will study from that. You got it? Confine yourself. Okay, sales services is a beautiful journey. It is a wonderful exam. It is so wonderful that each and every mistake teaches you a lesson. Okay, but learn those lessons. If you don't learn them, at the end of the day, what you will find, you will end up singing some song like Mera Jeevan Kora Kagaz Kora Hi Reh Gaya. So, get the point. Okay, I'm open to take your doubts. I was sure you will be the first one. Please.
Currently reading about basics and in basics, strengthening my basics. How to make notes.
How to make notes.
I have your notes and some NCERT books. I'm collecting these things, but no place to write notes.
See, this is a plate in my hand. This is the plate in my hand. Vegetable, roti, and dal. Vegetable, roti, dal and some rice in it. Okay. Ample to feed me. Keep me nutritiously healthy also, because vegetable is there, dal is there, roti is there, rice is there. I want some kheer. Okay. That's my choice. It's not a compulsion. Food security is attained here only. Okay. Now kheer is my personal choice, but maybe that may cause acidity to me. You get the point? Okay. Confined to minimal sources, and you do one thing. Go and make notes for Indian economic development first. Make notes for macroeconomics and introductory macroeconomics. Take class notes. Okay. Take also Nitin Singhania. Make notes. Take also Dutt and Sundaram. Make notes. Okay. Now there are how many copies to revise? 4 copies. Take this copy, make summary. 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 Okay. Now there are 4 summary notebooks. Okay. Finally, you will realize whatever is there in summary, this was all in this class notes. Okay. After 4 months later, you will realize whatever you did was all the thing you have done in the first month. You should have revised that. Okay. Don't make notes of everything. My point is, don't make notes of everything. You have class notes, basics. Now, you take those class notes. If at all you have to study additional books also, you study the additional book. Write only the additional information, if at all you could find. If at all you could find. Write that additional information in your already existing notes. Okay. If there is no space, write it on a page, paste it there. Okay, write on sticky note, paste it there. Okay, but that pasting should be judicious. Otherwise, there will be more sticky notes than the original copy. The original copy will be lost somewhere. Get the point? I told you, confine yourself. Confine. Okay. By reading class notes of economy, you will class notes of economy or class notes of other subject. If teacher says that, if teacher promises you that majority questions will be class notes. By reading class notes, you will solve 6 to 7 questions. By reading 4 additional books, you will solve 1 more question. You can go up to 8. You cannot go 14 out of 14 questions. No. By reading notes, you are solving 7 or 8 questions. By reading 4 additional books, you solved 1 more question. Okay. Do the cost benefit analysis. You have messed yourself. Get the point. I'm not telling it to you personally. I'm telling the one who does this. The one who reads 4 or 5 books, he will at the end solve 1 additional point or add 1 more point by reading 1 whole book. What is the fun? You have already 10 points. You have the time to present only 4. You have the space to present only 2. What will you do with 12 points? The point. Waste of time, waste of energy, and also frustration. Lot of frustration. Revise notes, update from newspaper.
Don't see the data.
Trend.
Actual trends. You said that right there.
Ah.
In mains answer writing, you have to put data also.
You have to put major datas. You're not supposed to put 22.3 million, okay, 22.3 million 99,099 rupees. No, general trend. This much percentage of export, this much percentage of import, this much percentage contribution in GDP, this much in workforce. Now the contribution of industry in workforce 28%. Now you will start writing 11 crore 99 lakh and 23,000 people are working in industry. How is this important? General percentage and trend analysis is required. Okay. Yes. Anything else, Chaitanya? Done for today? Okay. Yeah, I'm open to take your doubts. Anybody? Yes, if you have any doubt, please tell me. Please tell me. Years don't matter. Sometimes 3 years of current affairs is not sufficient. Sometimes 1 day current affairs are sufficient. Okay. Sometimes what I'm telling you. Sometimes how many current affairs are satisfactory? 1 day before the exam, newspaper was there and you read the article which was asked in the paper. Sometimes you have read past 3 years but not relevant to your exam. Actually, dates don't matter. How much of time? Usually people say previous 15 years, previous 15 months, previous 18 months. But UPSC has now become more smarter than that. Sometimes it asks you current affairs of past 3 years ago. Okay. Sometimes it asks a policy which is yet to come. Okay. Which is yet to come. Government has just announced it. You get the point? And from that announcement speech of that particular minister, they will ask you a question. Okay, so my suggestion is, when is your attempt? 25? Start today. Start today. Okay, don't wait for another 6 months that I need only 12 months current affairs. No, the day you start preparation and the day you get selected, till that time every newspaper is important. As simple as that. As simple as that. You get the point? Okay. But then if you have to go for shortcuts, then usually people suggest 12 to 18 months. Okay, I must give you that suggestion also. But that is not worthy of a suggestion to be given. Okay. So anybody else, if you want any question, if you have any question, online people, I'm also looking at you. If you have any doubt, I can see your doubt in the comment section. Okay. So if you have any doubt, please ask me. I'll stay for another 2-3 minutes. You people ask me. You have so many doubts, but today you have no doubt. Something related to CSAT. CSAT is qualifying nature. Okay. Some people believe that CSAT is only maths. Don't talk among yourself. Don't talk. No, I don't encourage that. I don't encourage that. Not even in this class. So CSAT, though some people believe that we are weak in maths, we can't do CSAT, it is very much doable. Okay, some people say we are very good readers of newspaper, we will qualify it. It is the biggest confusion. Okay, because there is very less accuracy in these questions. Comprehension, English comprehension, very typical questions are asked. Okay, so focus more on reasoning. Okay, reasoning is simple. Now that they are increasing the level from past 2 years, what I have observed, CSAT of UPSC is getting very tougher day by day. Okay, so please focus on those areas where you are strong. Okay, it is not purely math. It is not that typical math you must require graduation knowledge. No, 10th level mathematics, but yeah, practice, huge amount of practice is required. Practice as much as you can. If you have any phobia of CSAT, practice as much as you can. Okay, anything else? Yes, please.
When do we have to start doing specifics? When do we have to stop mains?
Okay, wait a while. Same question is asked by Nikhil, who says when and how to prepare revision notes from class notes. Sir, how many years PYQs should we read? Okay, both the questions. How many PYQs? As many as possible. As many as possible. Okay, in thousands. In thousands. I'm telling you in thousands. Okay, as many. In lakhs is not possible. Otherwise, I would have told you in lakhs. Okay, but yeah, you can go to 3,000, 4,000. As many as possible. As many as possible. Time should permit you as many as possible. Okay. Now, your question was, Samira?
When do we have to stop main preparation and prelims preparation?
No, no, not something fixed, but yeah, I can say at least 3 months prior to prelims. You should not stop mains preparation, because when you are preparing for prelims, knowledge is getting accumulated in your mind. Now you will use that knowledge in mains, but you should become more specific for prelims. Just as per my opinion, 3 months is sufficient. 100 days. Let us consider 3 months, 10 days. Okay, so 100 days approach is better. Okay, 100 days you should become prelim specific. It doesn't mean that in 100 days you should become warrior. You should start preparation 100 days before. No, you should start preparation 1 year before. In the last 100 days, you must focus on revisions, updations, and MCQs. Prelims mode. Okay, you should put your prelims mode on 100 days before the exam. Okay, that doesn't mean you should stop mains preparation. You should keep reading newspaper. Newspaper adds on to your knowledge, which will be used in mains. There is no special preparation for pre and mains. It is only approach is different. In pre, you focus more on analytical data points. Okay. In mains, you become broad-based and you also focus on some language points. Okay. So one question was in the online mode, when and how to prepare revision notes from class notes. When and how to prepare revision notes from class notes. Revision notes from class notes. What is this actually? Class notes itself are the revision notes. Okay. You can prepare summaries of class notes, but that summaries are helpful for mains. Because in mains you need major point, then explanation you have to write by yourself. Explanation you have to write by yourself. Okay. Yeah. One more question is there. Is Hindu sufficient for economy, current affairs, or shall I read any business newspaper? Student coach is asking. Okay, Hindu. Hindu is sufficient. Hindu is sufficient. Plus, if at all you want to go further, then Indian Express explained page is also required. Plus economic survey, plus budget. No, don't go for Economic Times. Don't go for Live Mint. They are actually very good newspapers. But Hindu also prints the same thing. Hindu also gives the same analysis. So one newspaper is sufficient. Okay. Yes. Anything else? Yeah, I have read these questions actually. Vijay, Nikhil, I have addressed your questions. If anybody else is asking questions, student coach, you have also asked, so I have also given you the answer. Anybody else? I can't pronounce your name, but I can read your question. If you select any topic to search about that, how to search about that topic? Very good question. I told you one stage is identify a topic and you want to search. Okay. Best way to search is go to NCERT first. Like you started searching about liquidity adjustment facility. Okay, go to macroeconomics introductory. You'll find it there. Okay, then refer to your class notes. You'll find it there. Then if at all you require further, then write that suppose in macroeconomics you are going to study liquidity adjustment facility. So you write liquidity adjustment facility / news. It will give you news of the Hindu, Economic Times and Indian Express. Or you write liquidity adjustment facility / UPSC. Okay, but this is dangerous. It is dangerous. Why? Because it will give you all the UPSC related articles. Someone has published it. Someone has written a letter to friend and has added UPSC word to it. Google will show that also. Get the point? So for that matter, writing UPSC is not much advisable. But it is advisable to an extent. But then so many articles will open. Which one will you, how can you identify which one is more trustworthy? The one which comes closest to NCERT and your class notes. The one which comes closest to your NCERT and your class notes. Otherwise, I prefer write that topic and write Indian Express first. Maybe it is explained in Indian Express someday, or write the Hindu / the Hindu. That's how you research about a topic. Okay. Don't purchase a book on one topic. Please understand that. Okay. So, Shashank, sir, how and what are efficient ways of making notes from newspaper and where we shouldn't make notes from it? Efficient way of making notes from newspaper is, I can give you one example. Suppose you heard efficient way of making notes from newspaper is actually a very good question. Please understand it. Please understand. Suppose today there is a question on agriculture sector. In agriculture, suppose there is a question on subsidies. Okay. Now, the basics is there. Excuse me. Suppose you are reading an article on subsidies. Basic of subsidies, you know. What are the types of subsidies? No need to write that in your notes because you know that it is already in your copy. Na? So government has changed the subsidy policy. Okay. Now government has brought urea also under the new subsidy policy. Okay. So just note it down. Okay. And when you are writing notes, now agriculture subsidies, there are only 3 lines. Okay. Don't write the next topic from this place. Okay. Leave some space. If you feel it is a mains topic, leave a whole page, because throughout the month or throughout the year, whenever a news comes, so you know there is a page in my notebook on this topic, add those points to this topic, only the addition points. Okay, so in this way you'll get at least 20 to 30 points throughout the year for one topic in the notes. Okay, best way to make notes from newspaper is select the topic and select those points in the article which you don't know. Jot them down. Which you already know, or they are already in your copy, or they are already in your book, don't note them. This will reduce your time, this will reduce your effort, this will reduce the space, and current affairs copy will become smaller. Get the point? Okay. Anything else? Vijay? How many years PYQs? I have answered that. How to make newspapers? I have answered that. UPSC without studying. Yeah, oh, very good question. Understand, DJ, what your YouTube channel says, YouTube profile says that your name I don't know, but it is written DJ Bravo. The best way to clear UPSC without studying is, that's the way. If you want to clear it in more better way, this is also better. That's only the way I know. This is how you can clear UPSC. What kind of question is that? Yeah. Anything else? Anything else? Simplest way I told you, to clear UPSC. Or write it on a page, clear that page, cleared. UPSC is not a mess you can clear without study. Okay, good. I couldn't understand the question. There is a question from Roshna, but I didn't understand the question. So, anybody else? You should follow 2024 is this year up to 2050. Same approach. Same approach. You are appearing for this year? This is more helpful for those 2025 people because it is a lengthy approach now. Okay. For 2024 people, you can skip one stage of identifying the topic and then seeing the MCQs. You just revise and solve previous year MCQs. Revise and solve previous year MCQs. And if you are someone who can sit for longer durations with books, then follow all the stages. But 2025 must follow this stage. Okay. Yes. Anything else? How to read newspapers? You're not those gaming. Shashank, sir, any means for facts and stats retention for longer duration? Yeah, good question. How to remember facts and stats for longer duration? Okay, facts and stats themselves are not staying for longer duration. Why will you remember them for longer duration? Okay, they are changing every day. Okay, just close to your examination, update the facts. Remember those one. They are very easy to remember. Who doesn't know that what contribution of agriculture in GDP is today? What contribution of industry in GDP? What contribution of service sector in GDP? Budget and economic survey data are sufficient. Okay. Otherwise, get to some good guide who can give you some good data before your examination. Okay. So, but I told you data and facts are not that important. Conceptual clarity, analytical ability, very much important. Very much important. Okay. Any tips for essay? Student coach, yeah, essay tips are separate. Video will be uploaded on this channel only. I have promised my students some 12-13 weeks ago, but it has not reached them. So it will be uploaded on this very channel. You watch it later, maybe a day or two, maybe a week. Okay. So yes. After 1 year, Muskan is asking, after 1 year of coaching, can we give first attempt? Yeah, very easily. If you have read well, if you have revised properly, if ask yourself, where do you stand in your preparation? Okay, if you have read properly, if you have revised, if you have solved ample PYQs, and while solving PYQs, if you are able to do more than 50%, go for it. Go for it. Okay, revise more because you have still a lot of time left. Okay. How to read newspaper? How to read newspaper? I have already told students how to read newspaper. Newspaper, you should avoid political news, you should avoid criminal news, you should follow policy issues. You should follow policy issues. You should follow governance procedural issues like one nation, one election. It is a procedural issue in elections. Okay, so you may follow it. Okay, you should avoid which party is saying what to which party, because today they are saying they are abusing each other, tomorrow they might be sharing government. Okay, tomorrow they might be having a power share in a coalition government. Okay, so that is something which is irrelevant to you. Okay, also don't follow who killed whom and why, or who is running behind whom, why. Don't follow what Bollywood stars are doing to each other. Don't follow where they are going or what they are wearing, what is the latest fashion trend. Avoid all such news. Focus on policy issues. Okay, at least 5 pages of newspaper are must throughout your preparation. Okay, again I am repeating: editorial page of the Hindu, opinion page of the Hindu, and science page of the Hindu, even also IR page of the Hindu, and explained page of Indian Express. Explained page. If you read all these pages, more than sufficient current affairs will be there. For mains, 100% current affairs are in these pages. For prelims, 70% current affairs will be from here. And if at all you could read along with economic survey plus budget, 100%. But it is hard for everybody to trust. It is really hard for everybody to trust. Okay, people don't trust. Okay. People don't trust. Okay, yes, please. Any does sports news are important? Sports news to some extent, some questions. Okay, but they're equally tough for all. So some people know it, some people don't know it. And also sports, when you know this decision review system, DRS was introduced, one question was asked. Okay, otherwise sometimes any new method introduced, suppose this NFC technology was introduced. Okay, so whenever there is any technological innovation in any this hawk eye vision of LBW review, okay, hawk eye vision, or you know these things, such things which are related to technological upgradation or any major or significant rule change, yeah. But who scored how much is not important. Who got man of the series? No. Who got how many medals? No. Get the point? Yes. Huh? Yeah. Introduction of Bharatiya Nyay Samhita. Okay, fine. Okay. What are the changes? What sections have been made obsolete? Which crimes have been made more harsh? Okay, what is there for how crime and civil law, how criminal and civil laws are now differentiated? Yeah, it becomes important, but not reading all the sections of IPC or all the section of CRPC. Okay, those who are in habit of delaying things habitually, those please focus what I'm saying. Delaying things habitually, it is also a bad habit. When you go into those things which you know it is important, but I'll do it tomorrow, you yourself are your biggest enemy. Identify that there is some force inside you which is preventing you for attending the important tasks. Yesterday I told you, you must attend each and every task on the right time. Each and every task must be attended on the right time. Okay, and also I told you one important thing, like there are some issues which are less urgent. Okay, you start focusing on those things. Okay, there is something inside you, there is some big problem with you. The big problem is that you yourself are not attending the most priority things. Okay, and how you have to do, just think about the result. You are leaving important thing unattended, you are attending unnecessary thing, the result will be you will lose a bigger thing for a smaller thing. Okay, learn to ignore smaller unimportant things. Learn to ignore smaller and unimportant things. Okay, and also try to understand the real worth. Okay, if something is very important and it is really worthy, don't delay it. If something is not important, if something is giving you time being enjoyment, or something is giving you time being comfort, but for the longer run it is not in your it is not good for you, avoid it. It is very important. Okay, so this way you can help yourself by asking yourself what are its probable outcomes. If the outcomes are not favorable, then don't do it. If outcomes are going to be favorable, do it at the earliest. Get the point? It was one question, that's why I addressed it. Okay, yeah.
How can you differentiate a serious attempt or a trial attempt in your opinion? You want to give trial attempt,
How can we differentiate? The only way to differentiate is that, am I expecting positive result that I may clear? 70% chances are there I may clear. If I am going to check if I clear, okay, what if I clear? This is a trial attempt, you should not waste it. Okay, if you are sure that 70% chances are I'll make it, okay, but even if I'll not make it, I'll gain from the experience. Okay, this is a serious attempt. Already you know 70% chances are there, I'll make it. Okay, this is a serious attempt. Trial attempt means you have not completed your syllabus, you have not revised too much, you have not solved many MCQs. This is a trial attempt. Okay.
Actually, by prelims, we may complete all the syllabus topics 2 to 3 times, maybe 2 to 3 times.
Revision.
Can we, and we are not well prepared for the mains before prelims. And can we?
We can give an attempt. Okay, but I will again say this will not be a fully serious attempt. Because even if in January you are thinking what it means to be a serious attempt and what is a trial attempt, means you are still not ripe for giving a serious attempt. Get the point?
So it is not a serious attempt, it can be.
Yeah, there is no problem. Only what I say is, then be ready that result will be negative, but I'm just checking how much I score and where I need to work. Prepare your mind that way also. Because 6 attempts, who gives 6 attempts? Yeah. Any doubt? Anything else? Roll up or handwriting? 0 role in prelims. No role in prelims. Unless you unless you mess up with the circles. Okay. Mains, we will discuss when mains strategy will come. Okay. Only role that much that it should be distinguishable, it should be legible. Okay. It should be legible that you have, please understand. Please don't talk among yourselves. I'm not getting angry, there is a reason for this. Okay. Role of handwriting in mains is that much that it should be legible. One should be able to read it. Okay, it should not appear that you have written with foot. Okay, get the point? It should be appearing that you have written with hand. You get the point? In the end, last answers are always, examiner says that when we evaluate first answer, we feel like this person might be some typist, he has typed the words, not written it with hand. But when we read his last answers, we feel like he has written with foot also. Okay, because last speed increases, handwriting deteriorates, but it must be legible. Examiner put 100% efforts to read your answer. Get the point? It must be legible. समझ में आना चाहिए. It must be legible. Okay, anything else? Can we use political information in mains answers? Example which holds significant for judicial? Yeah, examples can be used. Examples can be used from different scenarios, but don't mention any political party, don't mention any ideology, and also prefer not to mention any leadership. Okay, if there are political opinions, you put them as opinions, not as the words or verbatims of certain political leaders or certain political ideology. Okay, so thank you so much for all of you for joining me here. Okay, so all the best for your prelims examination. Okay, prepare well, study well, do good in your exam. Thank you.